I'd like to zoom out and talk about sort of some of these lessons from fundraising, which is probably quite different from the normal founder. Most people are not huge fundraising aficionados.
Oh, I did not know that.
You didn't know that? Okay. Wow, I love that. What did you love about fundraising?
I think what I loved about fundraising was the fact that you're creating this picture in the other person's mind, which aligns with your vision. And when that picture clicks into place and they buy into what you're trying to create, then they write you a check or wire the money. And it's that feeling of, okay, so you can see the world in a similar way. And that was then in terms of, as a startup and trying to raise money. But I still believe in it now as a tech for good investor, or trying to imagine a future which we are creating. And almost by definition, if you've got a vision in your head, other people can't see it. So it's about bringing it to life. It's about telling stories. It's about winning hearts and minds, where people say, I will join you, I will support you. In the case of fundraising, I'll give you money. But in other contexts, it might be, I'll back your mission. And that's what I think I enjoy about it, which is bringing people along to this mission.
Almost telling a story.
Yes.
Getting better at telling the story.
Yes, that's exactly right. But then winning over the other person. So they go, I see what you're seeing. I understand what you're trying to create. I'm emotionally bought into the change that you want to make happen. And in fundraising, the evidence for that is the commitment to invest. And in other contexts, it could be, I'll join your team, or I will introduce you to a person who can help you further your mission. And the more I work in the area of impact, the more it's about connecting and finding passion and finding energy. So it's not about money, but the process is the same.
Do you have a way of structuring your storytelling?
Not explicitly or not deliberately. I think that it's more about, for me, if I feel passionate about a particular cause or person or outcome, then to communicate that, not to hold that back. Because I think in some senses we're taught to communicate in a structured way, or to gather one's thoughts, or to be coherent, and that can take some of the energy out, or that can make it more canned or manufactured. I try to be as unfiltered as possible, and in my experience, that's paid off. And so I'm going to keep going with that. I think the second is that often it's about using one's imagination and allowing that imagination to find expression. So I think every founder starts off with some kind of inspiration, something which motivates them to start that journey. And then they go on to, using their imagination to come up with an innovation. That's how that journey typically works. And then you need to go through that to have your impact, because you can't build a company without an idea, and you can't have an idea if you haven't used your imagination. So I think it all ties back to the entrepreneur's way of being. And but it's not limited to just startups. I think it works in a corporate environment as well, which is, how do we change this company? How do we reinvent this business? I think it works in public policy as well. Like, what could we do so that this country, achieves leadership in achieving global impact? So you can ask the same kinds of questions in different contexts.